Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? It's good to see you here this morning. If you are new to catching this live broadcast, thank you so much for being here. This is a little thing that I do on the weekends called Coffee Talk with Renee. I pop in here live for my friends and I share a little bit about what's going on and catch up with the week. So I am your hostess, Renee Harden. It is a pleasure to have you here on this Saturday, November the 7th, 2020. Man, this first week of November. How you holding up? Doing okay? Grab a mug, grab a cup, whatever you have today. My mug is my Nano Rye mug because we, as writers, are working on a goal of writing 50,000 words in 30 days. But if that's not you, that's okay, because I've come up with a little something that I like to call National Novice Writers Month for those who are brand new to writing, to help you polish some inspiration for crafting and creating your very own work. So that's what I've been doing, is sharing some tips, some writing fun things, some inspiration. And boy, let me tell you, have we had inspiration, right? So let's flash back to last Saturday. It was Halloween. Remember that? So how was your Halloween and your weekend? I know that after I logged off on the broadcast last week, we all found out that Sean Connery, 007, passed away at the age of 90. So 2020 continues to bring its surprises and its moments, and we're going through one this week. I've called this week a week in map studies. If you don't know anything about your states and where they're located and how important they are to our election, well, you do now. So this week has become the sort of groundhog election day experience. We're still hanging in there. We're still counting ballots, but we want all the ballots to be counted. We want all votes to be counted. We know that there are provisional ballots that are still waiting to be counted from our military friends, our brothers, our sisters who are serving in the military overseas in different places. And so they cast their ballots. They have to then send them to the United States, and they're having to tabulate those. And so we know, with all of the problems that we've had with the Postal Service being delayed and jackknifed, that's caused some interesting delays. But kudos to the American people who rose up and voted early and got their ballots in. This is how you have a say in how our government works. So I'm sipping and saluting all of those who are watching me live on the broadcast, or if you're watching me via replay, thank you. You have participated in the greatest working aspect of our government, something where we all participate and have a say. And so I am just so excited to see how many people really turned up to vote. I mean, guys, we did it despite a pandemic. We did it, despite coronavirus and the post office being slowed down. We took the steps to vote. So if you did, kudos to you. If you're still waiting for your vote to be tabulated, listen, we're not going to leave you out. We're going to make sure that all votes are counted. So right after Halloween, we went into daylight saving time. How many of you are, you're kind of still dealing with it being dark early and dark? But here's the thing. See, we returned to standard time. So what we have going on right now, this is standard time. It's standard time. So it's a little darker in the mornings. It's definitely getting darker earlier in the evening. I know when I eat dinner, it seems to be, days after the sun has gone down, because now the sun goes down somewhere like around 5, and we usually eat around 7. So I don't know about you. How are you handling the new return to standard time? Are you adjusting okay? Has it really made a difference since we've all been at home because of the year of coronavirus, right? So good morning to those folks on the broadcast. Good morning, Teresa. Good to see you here. Good morning, Bear. How are you doing? How did Mom do? Oops. How did Mom do this morning with that video? You like that little intro video? Yeah, that was made by my wonderful daughter. So she created a nice little intro video now, so that I have time to be sharing while you all are watching some coffee be made. So here's something else that Michael and I did last week. We went to San Francisco. We had a trip planned that we had purchased with miles, so it wasn't like we could get a refund or anything like that. But we originally had planned this trip to go to San Francisco because Michael is a Stanford alum, and we were going to go watch the Stanford, Arizona football game. I believe originally it was supposed to be Stanford's homecoming. Not sure on that. But we had this trip planned, like way back before coronavirus. The trip had been planned. Some Michael's friends, we were all going to get together. Two of our nieces and our nephew happened to live out in that area. So we enjoyed getting to see everybody. We rented a little VRBO place that had a beautiful view and everything we needed to have meals, at home in our place. We had dinners with our nieces and our nephews that we got to see. And we shared an interesting Halloween with our little great niece, Jane. And they dressed her up, and her mom and dad dressed up, and we put on face paint and put on festive little ears and hats. And we celebrated Halloween at home and had pizza, and it was a great time. So how did you celebrate? Good morning. Good morning. Thanks, Teresa. Didn't she do a great job? She did a great job on that. Good morning, Natasha. How are you? Thanks for being here, my friend. So we went to San Francisco. The weather, we picked a beautiful week. October is a great month to go to San Francisco if you ever get to go. So the weather was beautiful. We got great pictures. We were at Golden Gate Park. We went to the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, and we also went to the California Academy of Sciences, which I think I talked a little bit about when I broadcast from there last weekend. So it was awesome. It was a great trip. The weather was gorgeous. We didn't have any rain. The fog moved in some mornings where we got to see that. That was gorgeous. And then the fog moved out. And it was a great way to get away, just to have a change of pace. California, as much as people deride and make fun of California, listen, California's done a really great job to try to tamp down the virus as much as possible. All of the restaurants have gotten really creative with how they've moved to outdoor seating. Some streets are blocked off at dinner, and all the restaurants have outdoor seating, and they serve people outside. There were people doing haircuts outside. Of course, the weather in San Francisco is perfect for that kind of setting. So, California, San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. Have you ever been there? It's really an awesome thing to see. So maybe you get to try that, huh? So here's something else that happened. I don't know if you guys noticed in the last week or so. I was telling you that I was having allergy problems with my eye flaring up. Well, I got back because I had also picked up a new pair of contact lenses. So I pick up my new lenses. We go out to San Francisco and we go on this trip, and I keep having these eye troubles. So I'm thinking it's allergies, and I'm loading up on antihistamines till I'm chewing cotton, right? And I still had a problem with my eye. So when I came back, I made an appointment to follow up with my eye doctor, and I went to go see him. And turns out, here's something interesting that happened. So, here comes Milo. So it wasn't my allergies. Good morning, Milo. It wasn't my allergies. I actually had an eye infection. And guess where my doctor said I probably got it? Where do you think, Milo? Good morning, my buddy. He said that he has been seeing increasing cases of styes and pink eye and eye infections from the long-term use of masks. How about that? So because I have glasses, and imagine the air is blowing up into my eyes. If you don't have a mask that fits snugly on your nose, that's right, Milo, that fits on your nose, right? That that where the air is not going up into your eyes. And because I wear contact lenses, that bacteria was getting under my contact lens. So y'all, I had an infection under my new contact lens. Yeah. So I got drops for that. So all in all, it's been a very interesting week, hasn't it? I don't know about you, but what has your week been like? Glad that I got to go on my trip. Thank you, Teresa. We were too. You are going to head out, breakfast, and workout walk while the sun is up. Listen, thank you, Teresa. Appreciate when you are able to be here. Good morning, Sherry. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Well, so guys, it is week 1 of NaNoWriMo. Again, what I like to call National Novice Writers Month, because if you are working on the NaNoWriMo goal of 50,000 words in a month, then you are writing roughly 1,700 words per day, every day of the month, including Saturday and Sunday. That's a lot of words, isn't it, Milo? So if you're not quite ready for a goal like that, what I like to do is encourage people to participate in National Novice Writers Month. And that's my little take on how to encourage people to write more in the style that they're used to. I mean, guys, it's been a meme week, hasn't it? And I've watched people post things all week long. So if you were to take all of the things that you've posted and write about them, what could you say? The hilarity of the memes that have come out this week? What you learned in map studies, right? Inspiration is all around us, things that we could write about. This is a historic moment happening right now, only happens every 4 years, and we're living it now. You know, I remember the 2000 election. Do you remember that? With the hanging chads and we had to recount everything? We didn't find out who the president-elect was until December 12th. December 12th. So imagining having to wait an entire month for our election results, and it might just turn out to be that way, right? So how was your good morning, Carol. How you doing? You like that idea? The big goal is overwhelming. Yes, I agree. So maybe try your hand at drafting some content. Write about what this week was like for you. It could be comical. It could be serious. You know, it could be exciting. And I have a Hawaiian word of the week for you coming up in a little bit. But it has been exciting. There's been a lot of things to chronicle and to write down. So I want to encourage you today to just draft it. Write down what you're feeling and what you're thinking. Don't worry about what it looks like now. That's how I can help you. That's what editors do. We walk alongside you. We help you polish that draft that you have into something really awesome. Or maybe you want to put it in a blog post. You know, I went to San Francisco for a week. I could write an article, a travel article about traveling during the year of coronavirus and what it was like to be in San Francisco with the procedures that they are now able to open back up at 50% capacity inside of their restaurants. But because they've had wonderful weather, a lot of those places have made they've come out like into the street areas where what normally would be their parking. Now that's the challenge in San Francisco, is finding parking. Because now that they've gone out into their parking spaces and made them nice, long little seating areas with little individual booths, and they have them decorated nicely with lights and everything. Some restaurants have gotten really creative and made like little pergolas out in their available space. So I could write a travel article about that, right? I could write how crazy it was to get this eye infection from wearing my masks. And how my doctor, maybe interview him and talk to him about how he's seen a rise because people have had to now wear masks all day long at their jobs if they're going back to work, and that's created increasing eye infections as a sort of a thing we have to deal with wearing masks. So isn't that amazing? Yes, I am, Noella. I am on Instagram and Twitter. I am going to be changing my Instagram account. And thank you for being here, Noelia. I'm going to be changing my account so that I have a business account, because right now it's my personal account. But yes, you can find me on Twitter at Ronee Harden. So let's talk a little bit about some great books because there are some great books coming out this month, guys. If you have readers in your family, you want to get some new books for your children. I'm going to be sharing over the next few weeks some wonderful new book releases that are coming out. They're going to be great gift ideas and hopefully help you get inspired to maybe create some of your own. So, one fun book that has come out in a children's, and I love this. Jimmy Fallon has a new book out. Now, let me tell you, we know him as the Tonight Show host. We know Jimmy from all the fun content and the impressions he does, all kind. But he's also an author, and since he's had his children, he's written some children's books. So this is Five More Sleeps Till Christmas, and he writes a little character, but a little who can't go to sleep because he's so excited about Christmas coming. The artwork is beautiful, and I'll be throwing links here in the comment thread of this broadcast and sharing it on my page as well, or for how you can get these books. But definitely check out Jimmy Fallon's Five More Sleeps Till Christmas. Fun picture book. If you have littles in your family and you want to get them a new book for their stocking, or maybe a book to read, counting down the days to Christmas, this would be a fun one to get. So, Five More Sleeps Till Christmas. Now, another great book that I'm really excited about that is coming out on Tuesday. You know, novels are not the only way you can write. Maybe you like writing in rhyme. Maybe you can come up with songs or poetry. Maybe that's a form that you really love to write in. Maybe you like to use rhyming words and make little limericks and haikus. Maybe that's an area of expertise that you like to experiment in, right? So, good morning, Tiffany. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Thanks, Emily. Appreciate that. Yes, and I'm going to be creating a business account over the weekend and attaching it to this Facebook page. So be watching for that, and I'll be sharing more content with you, so you'll be able to look me up there. So thanks for all those accolades there. So again, poetry might be something that you enjoy reading. Maybe you've experimented with it before. Maybe you've made up some fun little acronym poems or rhyming poems. But if that's your foray of writing, then I've got a book recommendation for you because you know. Good morning, Kristen. Good to see you too, my dear. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hey, Emily. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. So many of you know her from her book, The Handmaid's Tale, or the follow-up to that called Testaments. But Margaret Atwood has a new book of poetry called Dearly that is coming out on Tuesday. This is the first collection she's written in a while because, of course, she's known for her wonderful fiction novels. But Margaret Atwood has a new poetry book coming out called Dearly. So excited for that one. I'm going to be getting my copy. It should be arriving here pretty soon because they normally are pretty good at getting them to me either before I order them or I get them the day they release. But definitely check out her poetry. She is a wonderful writer. And this book is in particular about grief and loss and how we deal with that, and nature, observing nature, and zombies. You heard me? Yep, zombies. So I'll be actually reading excerpts of that next weekend, but I cannot wait. So mark your calendars for Tuesday, getting Margaret Atwood's new poetry book. So another book that I'm really excited about that I got this week came out on the 3rd is Seth Godin's new book called The Practice, Shipping Creative Work. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a fan of Seth Godin. In fact, here, let me grab off my bookshelf. If you've read his book, The Purple Cow, The Tipping Point, this is marketing. I mean, these are also great books. I've been looking forward to this one coming out. I knew he was writing it. It is based off of his akimbo workshops that he highly promotes. But I love how simple Seth Godin's message is. I love the way his books are designed because they are so clean. Look at that, and so neat. Look at that. Skill is not the same as talent. A good process can lead to good outcomes, but it doesn't guarantee them. Perfectionism has nothing to do with being perfect. Hubris is the opposite of trust. Attitudes are skills. There's no such thing as writer's block. Professionals produce with intent. Creativity is an act of leadership. Leaders are imposters. I mean, all criticism is not the same. We become creative when we ship the work. Good taste is a skill. Passion is a choice. Creative is a choice. Avoid certainty. Pick yourself. Results are a byproduct. Postpone gratification. Seek joy. Embrace generosity. Ship the work. Learn from what you ship. Avoid reassurances. Dance with fear. Be paranoid about mediocrity. Learn new skills. Create change. See the world as it is. Get better clients. Be the boss of the process. Trust yourself. Repeat. Love that, right? What a clever inside book jacket. So he says, do you trust yourself enough to ship creative work? Learning to trust yourself, your audience, and your work is the core component of the practice. Whether your creative work takes the form of a painting, a song, a company, and I'll add a poem, a blog post, an article, a short story, there is no formula for success. But there is a pattern, a practice all successful creatives engage in. The best way forward is to recognize it and commit to it. Based on the Breakthrough Akimbo Workshop, the practice is a roadmap to the journey taken by every artist, writer, maker, and entrepreneur, a powerful call to action for those who seek to make change. It's a compelling reminder designed to be revisited again and again that just because results are not guaranteed does not mean our work is not worth doing. Let me read that to you again. It is a compelling reminder designed to be revisited again and again that just because results are not guaranteed, just because you may not be seeing the high level of followers on social media, just because you're not seeing the high dollar sales in your book, maybe you're not seeing an immediate return on your investment, does not mean the work is not worth doing. If you are ready to make a difference with your ideas and your craft, what are you waiting for? Because we are waiting for you. So what I love about what Seth Godin has done, and I really skimmed the first chapter in this because I got it and I wanted to be able to share a little bit of it with you. I'm going to be diving into this book because I love Seth's work. He's very precise. I can't wait to get to this chapter. No such thing as writer's block, because I work with people who do get writer's block. And a lot of times when we work through that, they realize that it's just not committing to the practice of writing all the time so that you can find and develop your voice, right? You can't know what your writing style and voice is with a blog post. Now, if you have a blog that you've had for the last 2 years, you can go back through that material and look and sort of see and read and find and discover, oh, this is what your voice is, and this is how you sound, and this is how you write, and this is what comes natural out of your writing style. So I love in here what he does a lot of times is he gives you a word and a definition, and he defines it for you. So let me read you some of these. Shipping, because it doesn't count if you don't share it. Creative, because you're not a cog in the system. You're a creator, a problem solver, a generous leader who is making things better by producing a new way forward. Work, because it's not a hobby. You might not get paid for it, not today, but approach it as a professional. The muse is not the point. Excuses are avoided, and the work is why you are here. Lost in all the noise around us is the proven truth about creativity. It's the result of desire, the desire to find a new truth, solve an old problem, or serve someone else. Creativity is a choice. It's not a bolt of lightning from somewhere else. There's a practice available to each of us. The practice of embracing the process of creation in service of better. The practice is not the means to the output. The practice is the output because the practice is all we can control. Woo! Or as in Hawaiian, we like to say, "Shee, woo!" Was that a moment to get exciting? You know, I've been watching my daughter. She, in this time of pandemic, has had her job affected. And so she has returned to something that she loved, which was drawing. And I've been watching her work at this drawing now for months. She created an Instagram account. She started drawing and drawing and drawing every day. Now she's taking art classes. Now she's creating and commissioning artwork pieces for other people to give their family members for Christmas. Now she's got people giving her orders. But the practice, that daily rigor of working at something that she loved, and I loved what he says here. The practice is not the means to the output. The practice is the output because the practice is all we can control. Think about that in terms of your writing. Instead of keeping your eye on the book, finished product, or what, we'll get there. But the daily practice of writing every day. And I know you can do it. I mean, if you're posting on social media every day, I challenge you, copy and paste all the words, even if they're just status updates. Copy and post all of the posts you make in one single day into a document and see how many words you wrote. Just randomly wrote. Now imagine what that could look like if you sat down, focused, put a timer on, and just free flow wrote what comes to you. Whatever you're thinking, whether it's poetry or a song or an article about something, or maybe something you want your children to remember, or maybe something you're teaching to a group or your team. Maybe you're learning more about something you discovered. Maybe you've learned a new process that streamlines something that makes it easier, and you need to communicate this to your friends or clients or business partners, right? You're writing. That's the daily practice of writing. So he says the practice demands that we approach our process with commitment. It acknowledges that creativity is not an event. It's simply what we do, whether or not we're in the mood. Whew. Shall we all take a sip? Just. So I'm going to be sharing more from this book with you. And I'm also going to be sharing how you can get a copy of this. But Seth Godin's new book called The Practice. It's wonderful. Learn to juggle, draw an owl, make things better without regard for whether it's going to work this time. The practice will take you where you seek to go better than any other path you can follow. And while you're engaging in the practice, you'll honor your potential and the support and kindness of everyone who came before you. So I love, what I love about Seth's writing is he's very clear and to the point. He's not a fiction writer, so he's not giving you all this grand, flowery, juicy language to help create this vivid, very straight and to the point. He's very clear, he's very concise, because he's trying to get you to understand something very important. You need this, but yes, I mean, Wendy, I tell you, look at here. It's going to be right next to this one on my bookshelf. I just have all my little Seth Godin books together. Um, he's someone that I follow. Business, I learn a lot from him. I haven't pulled the trigger and taken the Akimbo workshops because of just 2020 has been a beast. Not gonna lie, and I have not had the time commitment available to that level of practice yet. But boy, that's on my bucket list. I'd really love to take his Akimbo workshop. So what he's done is he's taken the essence of what those workshops are about and put it in a book form. Listen to these testimonials that he got for his book. This is the book I need right now. It's an extraordinary and electrifying call to action for writers, artists, and creators in every walk of life. I reread passages and felt as if my own secret creed was being explained back to me in words I hadn't yet found. Rosanne Cash, Grammy winner, singer, songwriter, daughter of Johnny Cash, Rosanne Cash. How about Stephen Pressfield? Have you ever read Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art? If you haven't, that's another one you need on your creatives/writers bookshelf. Hi, Milo even agrees with that one. The practice is a user's manual to finding your calling and an alchemist's handbook for pursuing your dream. Yeah, it is. You like that one, Milo? I like that one too. And then Brian Koppelman, friend of mine, great guy on social media, creator of the show Billions on Showtime. He said Seth's book is a skeleton key specially molded to unlock the most creative version of you. Read it and find yourself free to be who you know you really are. I love watching Brian Koppelman's interviews with Seth. They are good friends. And Seth was talking about this book in an episode of Brian Koppelman's podcast back, before the summer. And so they were talking about this. And so that's what I really got interested in following and making sure I had a copy of this in my hand. So I'm going to be sharing from this book with you over the next couple of days, hoping to help you, inspire you to pick up your pen, get your digital keyboard. Do you have a note app on your phone, or maybe you voice text it to yourself? But capture those moments, those things that you want to write about, and start building that. Start the practice of daily writing. There's lots of things coming up in these next few weeks. We've got the holidays coming up, right? And as I said, I have a Hawaiian word of the week for you. You know that as part of my culture, I love to teach you new Hawaiian words so that you can walk effectively and powerfully in learning some Hawaiian and make me proud. So, how many of you seen the movie Moana? Have you seen the movie Moana? Yes. You just downloaded it on Audible. Great, Wendy. I'm so glad. It's going to be so great. Beth, you are excited about Seth's new book. Listen, I've only been able to, like I said, just dig into the first chapter. I can't wait to have some dedicated reading time this weekend to just plow my nose in there, right? Another book that I'm reading, guys, if you're into history, if you like reading things about history, this is another great book that I'm enjoying. I think I talked about a little bit about this last weekend. It's Madame Fourcade's Secret War. It is the story of, in fact, let's get the camera there, the daring young woman who led France's largest spy network against Hitler. You guys, this book is jaw-droppingly great. How did we not know about this woman? Remember, like the woman Hidden Figures? I would love to see a movie made about this. The book starts off with a character list of all of these people, names of people. I'm talking the first, selected cast of characters. And it is 4 pages long of people. Not all of them make it, but you don't find out who does and who doesn't until you read this book. Some of the things that this woman did at 26 years old, made the choice and led the greatest resistance against Hitler during World War II. Unbelievable story. So, yeah, great books that you can get if you have someone in your family that is a history buff, or if you're just interested in learning more about our history. I guarantee you this book is fantastic. So, yes, I have my face in lots of books. I also love helping people with their books, writing something of their own. So, if you need help writing something of your own, let me know. But here is this week's Hawaiian word of the week. You heard me say it earlier. Shee-hoo! If you've seen the movie Maui, you remember the scene where the big sea turtle is about to eat Moana and Maui. You know, it's Maui time. And you hear him make that sound. Well, the Hawaiian chi comes actually from a Samoan term. And that's Maui was the demigod of the Samoan people. And so, chi-hoo! It's kind of like how you have yeehaw here in Texas, or woo-hoo. The Hawaiian version is hee-hoo. And it's a way to express our excitement or to celebrate something. Hopefully here, if we tarry no longer, we will finally figure out who our new president is and hopefully move forward into the new year with a clean slate. I don't know about you guys, but 2020 has been a beast. And there is so much to write about, so much to share. I know you could probably write something amazing. So do it, share it, grab some great books and give them to your friends, or pick up some for yourself. Again, Madame Foucault's Secret War and Seth Godin's The Practice, or maybe Margaret Atwood's poetry book, Dearly, coming out on Tuesday, right? Or maybe you're going to pick up Jimmy Fallon's 5 More Sleeps Till Christmas. Whatever you do, make sure you keep filling your bookshelves with great books. Make sure you give great books to friends. Make sure you practice. You're doing it. I know you already are. So if you'd like more help on how you can do that, maybe you want to take a stab at writing something of your very own. Maybe you have a draft. Maybe you've been threatening to write a book forever. I want to encourage you. Get it started now. Do it now. We think we have forever. But do we really? Don't let time get away from you. Capture these moments while we're living them. Write about them. Share your excitement and your experience, and share that with other people. That's how we make some real effective change in the world, right? So if you need some help and you want to know how you can contact me or let me know, you can drop me a note here on my website. I had a little glitches of that getting to me now. I have fixed those. So you can drop me a note here on my website at ronaeharden.com/contact. Let me know how I can help you out. You can always catch the video replays if you don't see them on my YouTube channel. And you can always catch me right here on my Facebook page. You can drop me a message here in this comment thread. Send me a message right here on my page. You can do the same through YouTube. Leave me a comment there on the broadcast, or shoot me a message right here on my page. I'd love to chat with you and find out how I can help you create your own writing style and find your writing voice. Well, guys, that's the broadcast for this weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everybody on the live broadcast who was here. Love you all. If you are watching this via replay, I love you too. You took the time to watch all of this. And remember, the Hawaiian word today is chi-hoo. Find those moments, celebrate them, even though we're in the middle of the pandemic, y'all. I don't know about you, but we're pretty blessed, right? Get out there today and make today awesome. Hug somebody safely. Make sure you're wearing a mask, but share lots of love and encouragement. The world needs it right now. Whoo. And hopefully our Groundhog Day election experience will be over soon. Love you guys. Take care. I'll be back here next Saturday with more excitement because the Masters tournament will be going on. The first time the Masters has happened, first in November. And secondly, there are no guests, no people, nothing going on there. So what's that going to look like? We'll have to find out next Saturday because the tournament will have already started. And so I'll be sharing about that. Some more great new books coming that you're going to want to make sure you budget for these guys. There's some great ones coming. I cannot wait to share them with you. So be sure to be back here next Saturday where we will sit down and chat and have coffee and hopefully not talk about any more maps and talk about great writing. Follow my page here for more writing tips and helpful things for you to get that practice going. And I'll be back here next Saturday for more coffee talk. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Saturday.